What's going on, EDC people? And what's our journey today? Well, it was going to be the Spyder Co. Smock. This was the fourth and final knife from Neve's Knives that I need to, why is my phone, there we go, review. But we're going to save this until tomorrow because I just want to do one more day's work with it before I really give a good impression on it. So what are we doing today? Well, it came to my attention that I really didn't do a review on the Civivi Elementum. I did a comparison between this and the Wee Banter, but I never really did a review on it. And being what it is, I feel like I should do that. So, put it on our little journey bridge here. My focus is acting really strange. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the stats like usual. This particular one is the Blade HQ exclusive Micarta scaled S35VN blade with the thinner stock, and it's unfortunately not available right now. I believe they are getting more. I am not totally sure on that, but they do have, the reason I'm showing this to you anyways is they do have a ton of the standard Elementums still available with all kinds of different scales, from G10 to ebony wood, and even some coming soon like marble carbon fiber. So given, you know, take that into consideration as I show you this one. The ones that are available right now are mostly D2. However, this one, like I said, is S35VN. Wow, what is going on with this camera? Hang on one second, guys. Let me. Okay, that seems a little better. As I was saying, the other ones that are in Blade HQ that are in stock are D2 blade material, which is been tested to be true D2, and I believe is a good heat treat if I remember right from the testing people. The weight on this guy, we'll test it again, but I believe was 72.9 grams. I'm in ounces right now, so I think it's okay. So 2.6 ounces and 72.88 grams. So 72.9 is pretty right on. Stock thickness. Jeez. Is about 2.5, 2.6. I get 2.5 most of the time when I check it, so 2.5, 2.5. So right between 2.5 and 2.6 is about right. Now, the drop from, so it's a hollow grind, which is great, especially this extra thin hollow grind. The top has a high flat. I measured, again, from the flat to the apex at 17 millimeters. So that's from here to here. Exact. I'll show you. Okay. And you know what, guys? I am going to reset my camera because this is crazy blurriness. So hang on one second. And we're back. Okay, so I just mentioned to you that the drop from the high flat to the apex was 17 millimeters. That's not that much. It's you know, so it's kind of a short blade in this way. However, it's that hollow grind, and with that special super hollow grind, it makes it very slicey and very nice to cut with. The choil at the thickest, right here, I'll zoom right in again, at the thickest was 2.5 millimeters. And if my caliper is correct at all, it comes right down to about 0.2 millimeters. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but that's what my caliper says. So that, just to give you an idea of the plunge grind and how much room you have for a finger choil and a sharpening choil. Okay, speaking of choils, I keep putting it down and picking it back up, but that's alright because I like my little bridge I just found. This is definitely a choil that you can put your finger in. It makes it a lot more comfortable to cut this way. You get this real tight grip on it, and you can just do all kinds of work, you know, to precision work or hard grind, you know, hard pushing work like this. Because the blade, or I'm sorry, the handle is fairly neutral, you can pretty much, you know, you could put your fingers really wherever you want, especially depending on the size of your hand. For my size hand, you know, without using the forward choil, it's fine. I fit just all 4 fingers and have plenty of room. If I creep up there, you know, clearly there's plenty of room. I did measure the, let me see if I have that note here, because I did measure the, focus is killing me today. Okay, so it goes from, you know, 20 millimeters at its smallest point of height at the handle to about 25 at the end. So there's that. It does, you know, so it does kind of give you that teardrop almost kind of feeling where you get a little extra in your palm to hold on to. I do like that. I still consider it a neutral handle. The scales are flat, even on the, you know, the G10 and wood versions, and they run at about 10.8 millimeters. I think I wrote down 10.8, and it's going to be 10.8 no matter where. Okay, well, I think I'm on the pivot. 10.8 wherever you really are. And of course, okay, there you go. So yeah, 10.8 from front to top, you know, from front to the back. So it doesn't really swell in your hand. However, that the way that the way the handle is shaped with this little drop part and where it thickens, it really fills your palm up nice, almost like a swell. You know, I really want to talk about the Micarta because I have it, but it's kind of unfortunate that it's not available when I'm showing it to you. You guys probably know a lot about Micarta already. You know, like G10, you know, it's great for cold weather. Micarta will patina. So no 2 Civivis or no 2 Micarta knives, you know, will look alike a year later. The owners, you know, hand oils and whatsoever will change the color. Flipper tab action. The flipper tab is either right at or above the pivot, so it's got great action. It's not quite drop shutty. It needs a little help. Maybe mine needs to be cleaned out a little bit because I have been using it quite a bit. It runs on, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, oh, look how dirty that is. It runs on phosphor bronze. Okay, there is a big benefit to phosphor bronze over bearings. You know, bearings are great for the action, but they're terrible for getting dirty. Phosphor bronze are going to stay clean, pretty clean, and they can be, you know, as you work it, the more you work it, and the more you work it, the more you flip it, it's going to basically polish them. There are even people who take those washers out and polish them themselves just to get the action going faster. So the more I do this, the more it's going to become drop shutty. And probably if I go ahead and clean all that gunk you just saw, that would help too. The texture, you know, again, this is the Micarta version, so it's a little hard for me to relate to the G10 versions or whatever right now. If you wait and get the Micarta version, the texture in hand is awesome, you know, but it is Micarta, it's a good Micarta. I'm not sure where the microphone is, but It's grippy, but it's not grippy at the same time. It does have jimping, you know, right here. It's not sharp. It's just, to me, it's just the right amount of jimping to secure your thumb there, to get some good work done, you know. And because of the blade shape being so neutral, it doesn't, you know, without having like the fingers, I like not having you know, specific finger slots. It doesn't really push your hand back, so you're holding it way back here. And especially with this choil, you can creep right up on it. You just have to be careful because, you know, there is that exposed end. Okay, I would say sharpening wise, you have plenty of times to sharpen. It's a great, as far as I'm concerned, it's long enough, you know, especially because your finger can fit in there. It's long enough and deep enough to do plenty of sharpening, which is something that I'm going to talk about at the end. Okay. Now, I do know that Blade HQ on their website, coming soon, they have a, let's see, I told you about the marbled carbon fibers coming soon. That's still in D2. I believe there's copper and brass coming out as well. That's still in D2. There was one other S35VN, I believe, and I believe it was the satin blade with the natural G10 scales, I think. I would have to double check the site to be sure on that, but if you can get your hands on an S35VN version, obviously I would do so, but there's nothing wrong with the D2 version either. And at right around 50 bucks for that version, you can't go wrong with this knife. The hype is real with it, guys. You know, before I got this, I saw everyone in them. You know, I know I'm very late to the game on reviewing a Civivi Elementum, but it's definitely worth it. The hype is real. Okay, so steel liners, skeletonized. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah. Liner lock, obviously. And even as a liner lock flipper, I can fidget with it just fine. You know, and as I fidget with it, I'm polishing up those brass phosphor washers. Okay, does have a lanyard hole. It doesn't really bother me. I kind of wish they would have just done, like, filled this with the micarta and done the lanyard hole in between somehow. That's just my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. If I'm nitpicking at that at this point, that's not a big deal. The clip is a standard Civivi clip, which is great. They do great clips. It is clearly deep carry. It's very springy. Oops, yeah, that shows it good, huh? It's got the inlaid screws, thank God, and you can see it does go down quite a bit, you know, but with that springiness, it fits right in your pocket really well, and it's not going anywhere. Now, the texture, where the landing zone of the clip obviously is going to depend on what scales you get. I am not familiar with what the G10 scales, you know, texture will feel like. I can tell you on the micarta, it's really okay. You can see, speaking of patina, you can see, or I don't know if you can see, but can you see like the lighter green under where the clip is? I'm kind of holding it at an angle so you can see where, that's how light the green was when I got it. In fact, it was probably a little lighter down here too. And then you can see where I've been using it and holding it and how much darker it's getting. And I just love that happens, you know, and it will happen with the brass and the copper ones as well, by the way. And I'm not sure about any of the other finishes, but I really like the fact that my Elementum, the look of it in a year from now, will still, you know, will be a little bit different in a way than your micarta Elementum, just because of that. It's just a little thing, but I like it. I love playing with it. It's a great knife. Let's see if I have a piece of cardboard here. Well, what do you know? Of course I do. Let's see how well it slices. Now this blade, like I told you before, is hollow. S35VN. Never try cutting while looking through a camera because you definitely can cut your fingers. I'm going to tell you this: it's sharp. The hollow grind definitely makes it slicey. But I don't know if it's just mine or not. But I'm really not that impressed with how sharp it is right now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's sharp, as you can see, but I would have expected it to be a lot sharper than it was. So later today, maybe tonight, I'm going to do a second video, and that's going to be of me sharpening my Civivi Elementum. What I need to get past personally as a newcomer to this community is being afraid of scratching up or sharpening, new knives, or knives that I kind of cherish. This to me was expensive. I think this one was around $90 if I remember right, maybe 100. I don't know, somewhere around that point. To me, that's a lot right now, and so it makes me nervous to put edge to stone. But I'm going to use this knife no matter what. I don't buy it for jewelry. I'm going to use it, so it's either going to be dull, and I'll continue to use it dull, or I'm going to sharpen it. So I need to get over that fear real quick. And I always tell everyone, usually when I discuss sharpening, the scratches in the trails and the marks made on it, and even the patina, that's what makes your knife yours. It's right now, this is, well, minus the handle, this is Blade HQ's kind of deal. When I put my edge on it, no matter how wide that bevel is, no matter how good or bad it is, no matter if I have a perfectly measured apex, I guess you could call it, or if it's really wide, or if it's wide here and smaller there, whatever I do, whether it's a mistake or perfect, is going to make it my edge and even more my knife. Looking at the geometry a little bit more, just because I saw something, let me look a little closer. If I can focus. Doesn't it seem like that side's a little wider? This is from the fact, that might just be deceiving, but to me it seems like this apex or bevel is a little wider than this one, and this has not been sharpened yet, so that's interesting. But anyways, that's not common from Civivi at all, I don't think. Got some spacers back here. Told you, the phosphor bronze. The action's great. Am I still zoomed in? Yes. I love this knife. It's in my pocket all the time. Well, most of the time, a lot of times. There is jimping on the flipper tab, so you not only are you at an advantage by being above the pivot zone, you have that jimping to really just crack it out. As far as failing goes, let's see if I can just intentionally fail it. Of course, okay, yeah, you can if you control, if you mean to do it. But if I'm just going to flip, just whoop, not thinking about it, not trying to do it hard or anything, whatever, just whoop, flip, I don't get it to fail. The only way to get it to fail is to literally intentionally make it fail. At least on this one. I gotta tell you, the marble carbon fiber one looks really cool. I really wish that one was coming out in S35VN instead of D2. But anyways, even though I keep mentioning the S35VN, guys, the D2 is going to be just fine for an average person doing an average day's work, especially from this company. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I did just double check that the natural G10 scales Elementum that's coming out soon from Blade HQ is going to be an S35VN, and I think that's the only one that's coming out, that's either out already and available now or coming out, that will be an S35VN, unless the Micarta comes back, and then it will be both of those two. So if you want the S35VN, I would get on their site and do the email me or whatever, email me when it's in stock thing. if you like natural G10, but you could dye if you want. The blade on it looked like it was just like this, satin. I think it's stone washed, instead of a black blade. Okay, so that's all I can really say on it stat wise. I can tell you that working with it is a joy. I've had people ask me about it a lot as I use it. It's very, you know, someone told me once, because I for some reason I just never saw that as a finger choil. It just didn't dawn on me. I don't know. I know that sounds kind of silly, but somebody in a comment had mentioned to me, you know, hey, put your finger in the choil and it'll be and I did, and oh my gosh, the difference to slide through something is just unbelievable. Of course I'm gonna do that. See, that's what I mean. The blade itself is not so sharp right now. I think that's going to be the project for tonight. That's going to be the part 2 of this video. And that's a little bit surprising. But it's sharp enough. Okay, so if you buy one from the factory, you get it this sharp, it's definitely good enough for the average person. But for me, it's not as sharp as it should be. Okay? That's the Civivi Elementum. They're about 50 bucks on Blade HQ. A little bit more if you get the ebony wood or the natural G10, of course, because that's the S35 one. As far as I'm concerned, the hype is real. A double thumbs up on this one. You can't go wrong. Have a great day, guys. Okay, and like usual, we all know that I forget a couple things. So, first of all, at the end of all the clips, I will roll some photos, you know, the photography I took of the knife when I got it and throughout some use. So that I hope you enjoy that. There'll be silence during it pretty much, so just bear with it until the end. It'll be, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, I think. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, when we're talking about deep carry clips, and you know, I said like it's Civivi's got a great deep carry clip. Here's a little example. You know, here's like kind of like a standard, a long springy clip from well, this happens to be a cheap knife, but you know, it does look a lot like a lot of clips that you see out there. And you can see how much of the knife sticks out of your pocket. And people say, well, you can grab it, and yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's what you want, and that's great. You have that choice. The deep carry, this is what you see. So, you know, depending on states that you live in or cities that you're in, that might make a little difference. It also, you know, who knows what this is. This could be, I mean, I don't know, I guess it clearly looks like a knife clip, but there's a lot of things with clips, and if you can't see the top of a knife, then hey. But what I wanted to say was this. Number 1, I did say later on today at some point, I am going to put this on a stone and sharpen it. We're going to sharpen it together. I don't know if it'll be late tonight. I don't know exactly when it'll be. At some point though today, I will record that video and post it as soon as it's done. And let's hope that there's some success there. I'm going to try to be very, very careful and only I may not even really talk much during it, just because it would be my first S35 VM sharpening. And other than that, I also wanted to keep playing with it in front of you to kind of show off how great it is. There is jimping on the lock bar. I think I forgot to mention that. It's gentle jimping, I guess you could say. So let me put this behind here for some focus. So it's really great. Just there's no hot spots really. There's no pain in it whatsoever, and it's just great. Okay, number 2, if that sharpening goes well, at some point, whether it be right after, if you know, maybe it'll go fast. It's somewhere in the scheme of things, in the short future, I am going to go back at this blade, sharpening it again. I'm totally dissatisfied with how I performed, and I want to try it one more time. So stay tuned for that. I will record it. Successful or not, you'll see it. That's one, or two. Number 3. Let's see here. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I had done a comparison with the Civivi with the Wii Banter. I didn't review it. I did probably say some things about it, but I didn't really review it like this. So that also leads me to want to do an official review on the Wii Banter. Another knife I freaking love. Okay, the reason why I did the Civivi today and not the Wii Banter today is because, as far as I know, the Banter is not available to purchase right now really anywhere besides the secondary market. I could be wrong, but that's from what I saw very briefly looking. And if I can avoid showing you a knife that you just can't get, then I'm going to. Now, I know that I showed you the Micarta Elementum, but you can still get the Elementums. So look for a Wii Banter reviewed coming soon, real soon. Last thing, I mentioned it during the video, Spyderco Smock, the last knife from Neves Knives. This review, I'm going to use this for the rest of the day as my EDC, and then I won't record the video tonight because I'm going to do sharpening tonight, but tomorrow I will be recording, if all things go well, while my daughter is at school. Speaking of which, my kid goes 2 days a week to school and has 3 days a week of virtual learning because of this COVID-19 thing. Does everyone else's kids have that kind of thing going on? It's very weird. Anyways, that's way off topic. Well, plan is to review the Smock tomorrow. Great knife. I really like it. I almost bought it off Jared. Came this close, but you know, the funds just weren't there this time, and I need to keep the channel where it's supposed to be right now. I need to, you know, that money, I could get other, you know, several other knives at the level that I'm at, and, you know, continuing on our journey before I get this one. And believe me, one day I will get this one because I do like it. I like it a lot. I like the flipper tab being so high. I like it not coming out the bottom. I like the push button. I like the sheep's blade. I like, even though others don't, I like the carbon fiber. Some people don't like the holes. I do. It has a maker behind it, a controversial maker, but hey, Kevin Smock. It's from the Tai Chung factory. I'm basically ruining the review, so that's that for today. Okay, so look for that review tomorrow. Look for this one sometime soon. Can't guarantee when, depends on how things go. I really want to do it though, and I'm really hoping to do it when it's back in stock. But if it takes a long time, I'll just do it anyways because we know it's coming back. And then again, tonight is at least the Civivi for sharpening. And if all goes well with the Civivi, the Stag is going for a round 2. Okay, so now you'll see some photography and then the end picture. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I need all the help I can get. When I get to 100 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. I've actually already got items picked out. There's going to be multiple winners. I have a company that's going to sponsor it, surprisingly. I'm not going to say any more than that right now, but it's going to be pretty cool. So like and subscribe, because you have to be a subscriber. Plus, I really want you guys to, if you enjoy my channel, to subscribe. Don't just subscribe for the giveaways or anything. Like it and subscribe because you like it and you want to watch more, okay? But for those of you who do, I am going to do giveaways. Bye. The one time I can't Spidey flick. As always, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more. There is far more to come. And a very special thank you to all the people whose stickers you see below for supporting me in this journey and with my channel.